Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Erin Amato.
And I'm Caitlin Stabler, and I'm a PA with the Center for Ideal Health, and today we're going to talk to you guys about fasting.
Yes, we wanted to bring up this topic because fasting has been a really hot topic right now, and we get a lot of questions from our practice members about it. We also get questions from members of the community about it, so we're hoping to share some helpful information with you today. So first of all, fasting is not a new concept or practice. Fasting has been going on for thousands of years as a way to promote health. Often it was worked into some sort of a spiritual practice or tradition. And in terms of benefits, it's been shown to support overall metabolic health. It's been shown to help support cellular cleanup, which can lead to a process of cellular regeneration and even an increase in stem cells. And it can even have an impact on markers that we now know are associated with the aging process, and it can help with reversing or changing some of those to help promote longevity.
There's a few different kinds of fasting that we want to talk about today. All of those can help with weight loss to a varying degree and can also help with cholesterol and fasting blood sugars to a varying degree as well. The first one is called time-restricted eating or feeding, and that really just involves eating during a period of time about 8 to 12 hours every day, and it gives your body and metabolism a time to rest for the rest of the day. There's also intermittent fasting. That involves having 1 to 3 days of fasting during the week, and those aren't necessarily subsequent days. And then the last type is called prolonged fasting, which involves 4 or more days of fasting, and there's 2 types of that. One of those is just a water-only fast, which can be very difficult to sustain. And then there's also the fasting mimicking diet, which is prolonged, which is what we're going to talk about today. There's these types, the prolonged fasting, which is the water-only fast, and the prolonged fast are the only 2 types of fasting where you can actually see the process of cellular cleansing, as well as the increase in stem cells, which can help regeneration and promote longevity.
So Prolon is really a breakthrough product, and it can be such a help to people who are interested in fasting and really wanting to optimize their efforts. And so a lot of people are hearing about Prolon because there's a new Netflix series called The Goop Lab with Gwyneth Paltrow, and there's an episode where Gwyneth and the Goop staff did some different types of fasting, and they were even measuring blood markers and things like that to see what type of progress people saw on the different types of fasts. So if you haven't seen that yet, I encourage you to check that out. But just to give you some background on Prolon, it was developed at USC, the University of Southern California, by a doctor named Dr. Walter Longo. And the Prolon diet has been backed by the NIH, the National Institute of Health, as well as several university-based research departments. There's preclinical as well as clinical trial data supporting the benefits of it. It's a patented product, and the results have been published in top major medical journals such as JAMA. And just to kind of give you an explanation, kind of walk you through the kit so you know what you're getting with the Prolon kit. It consists of really 5 days of fasting, and each day the food that you're going to be consuming is broken down in a very easy to use box. And so Caitlin's going to open one of the boxes to show you. We're going to show you day 1. So just to kind of walk you through what to expect each day in terms of a metabolic the metabolic changes that happen. So on day 1, this is really priming the body to transition into a fasting state and to begin cellular optimization. So Caitlin will show you.
So for example of the foods that you get on day 1 specifically, this kit that we're opening is the new kit that has some different soups than the original kit, which is also delicious. It looks like we get butternut squash soup mix and a minestrone soup blend. There's kale crackers,
which are actually delicious.
With the chocolate bar, you get dessert on day 1.
Also delicious.
Mm-hmm. And the L bar, which is a nut-based bar that you get twice that day. And some different teas, some herbal teas. And then olives as a snack, and then all of your supplementation is also included.
So it makes it very easy. It breaks it down each day in terms of what you're going to be taking. So that was day 1. And the subsequent days are pretty similar to what you see here. Day 1 does have more calories than the other days because, like I said, this is a transition day where it's priming your body and getting it ready for that fasting state. So day 2, this is really where you start doing more fat burning, and this is also where you start that process of cellular recycling and cleanup, which is so important. Day 3, there's continued cellular cleansing. Most people reach full ketosis on day 3, which is a state where your body is burning fat preferentially instead of burning glucose for fuel. And that can be very important in terms of people who are struggling with things like insulin resistance or brain fog. A lot of people start to feel a sense of mental clarity and even a boost of energy as they get further into the fasting process. Day 4, this is where the cellular regeneration happens, and this is where some of the magic kind of happens with Prolon compared to those other types of fasting that we were talking about. So you have that continued cell clearing, but also enhanced stem cell production starts. So this is where we're talking about that longevity aspect of fasting. And then day 5 is promoting self-repair, again, by increasing stem cells. Now, I also listed a day 6, even though there's not a kit for day 6. Day 6 is very important in terms of a transition day where you're reintroducing normal foods back into your diet, because after doing all of this hard work, you don't want to just rush in and start resuming what may have been not a very optimal diet. So there are some specific guidelines about how to gradually reintroduce foods.
And then the benefits are one of the common questions that we get. Why do we do fasting? Along with the things that Dr. Amato just talked about, people with normal BMI so body mass index, lose an average of 5.2 pounds of fat and 1.2 inches off of their waist, which is great. And then people that are considered overweight or obese lose an average of 8 pounds of just visceral fat, which is the fat that surrounds our organs, which is where we don't want to have fat. But in the same right, they're also protecting their lean muscle mass, which is great. So it's just fat loss, not losing their muscle. There's also benefits on people that are overweight or obese that have problems with insulin resistance or prediabetes. The greatest benefits that people will see in that category is generally done after doing 1 Prolon a month for 3 months in a row. It's shown to maintain healthy levels of glucose, cholesterol, blood pressure, and improve triglycerides. It also improves energy levels, and there is rejuvenation, wellness, and health optimization, which is all in alignment with what we practice here at the Center for Ideal Health. It also promotes weight loss, cell repair, and promotes longevity.
Yeah, so I mean, all of that's such an amazing list of benefits, and like you said, it's in line with everything that we really try to promote at the Center for Ideal Health. Because we do work with a lot of people who have concerns about their weight, but we try to emphasize all the time that issues with weight are not just about a number on the scale, it's not just about BMI, it's about this whole process of what we're talking about in terms of burning fat, but also that cellular cleanup, stimulating stem cells, and all of the benefits that can have metabolically. So what we want to talk to you about is joining Caitlin and I as we start our own Prolon journey next week. We've actually done this process 1 or 2 times before, and even though it can be a challenge, we loved the way that we felt afterwards. So we're really looking forward to doing this again and bringing as many people along with us as may be interested. So we do want to talk about people, though, who may not be appropriate for this particular dietary intervention. Prolon is really not appropriate for people who are insulin-dependent diabetics, anyone who's pregnant or breastfeeding, if you have allergies to nuts, soy, oats, or celery, because those are some of the ingredients in the kit, if there are any signs of active infection, or if you're underweight, protein deficient, or malnourished, and we would add if people are struggling with eating disorders, this would not be an appropriate kit for them. But that still leaves a long list of people who would tremendously benefit from this. So the way that we're going to do it, like Caitlin was mentioning earlier, the soups that she was showing you, these are some of the new soups. So there are actually 2 different kit options. And so we're each going to do one of those kits so we can just give you feedback on the products. And our plan is to do a short Facebook Live each day to just kind of update you on maybe the different foods that we're doing each day, and to share some different tips with you, because I know from when we did this the 1 or 2 times before, we really learned a lot from the process, and there are things that we learned that have changed our decision making, maybe about the timing of when to do Prolon, or just how you kind of schedule life. So we hope to share those tips with you so that you're even more successful if you decide to try this. And as part of this, the kits are normally $2.99, but we're doing some promotional pricing to try to encourage people to do this with us. So the kits this week are $2.49, and if you decide that you want to do 3 kits, because like we were saying, for some people they fall into a category where you're going to benefit most if you do 1 Prolon kit 3 months in a row, then those kits end up being $2.24 if you purchase the 3 at a time. And we are going to be starting this group Prolon experience this coming Sunday, March 8th.
So we just wanted to thank you all again for joining us today, and we hope that we shared some valuable information. You guys learned some new things about fasting and the fasting mimicking diet with Prolon. We hope that you join us next week on March 8th to get started on our fast, which would mean that our transition day happens right before the weekend next week. And if you don't decide to join us, we hope that you still tune in every day as we do our Facebook Live, just to check in, see how we're doing, and get some more information to hopefully encourage you in the future to do Prolon. Please follow us on Instagram or Facebook at Center for Ideal Health. We also have a YouTube channel, the Center for Ideal Health, or head on over to our website for more information, www.thecenterforidealhealth.com. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. Have a great day.